Hello.
That was a lovely deep breath, by the way, Jacqueline. We've always been told before we start the video, we must take a deep breath. Welcome to Moon Cycles. I'm PK.
And I'm Jacqueline.
And we're going to talk about the full moon in Libra.
Yes, we've got full moon happening this Saturday. It's quite a heavy one, actually. Starting to feel it already.
I definitely have been feeling it the last couple of days. It's been very, heavy, Jacqueline.
Quite heavy stuff going on.
And there's other stuff as well, isn't there?
Well, we're in the middle of Mercury retrograde as well, so...
Oh yeah, no decision making, no signing contracts, no making massive choices.
Everything crash.
Yeah.
But, you know, we made a video about Mercury retrograde, didn't we, PK?
We did make a video, and it might be that now we're in it, this video might not even get out there. We might have technical problems, Jacqueline, or something.
If you remember our last video, PK, we were saying that that's...
It's about restarting, regaining, restoring, remembering to be present, people.
And doing it all within the sign of Aries, which is initiating, and it's owned by Mars, which is start-up beginnings. It's fresh. So, you know, it's about...
First steps.
I think it's about rehashing how you communicate, maybe, in Aries. So about business, maybe kind of reselling yourself or, communicating differently. And this whole full moon that's coming up as well, this is a blue moon, so it's the second full moon of the month of March. The first one you thought was intense. This one I think is even more intense.
I think so. It's the endings.
Because you'll always have the sun opposite the moon in a full moon. But the sun happens to be conjunct Mercury retrograde while this full moon is, so that means it's opposite the moon as well. So Mercury retrograde is going to have a big part to play in this full moon energy. So confused communication as well. But we've also got another couple of planets in play. So
Saturn and is in
Saturn and Mars.
Saturn and Mars are in together as well. So does that make that a T-square? It's a T-square or something, is it?
That's correct.
See, I'm learning. I'm paying attention, Jacqueline.
Yes, Pika, you are correct. It will be Saturn will be conjunct Mars in Capricorn. So Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn as well. So we will probably all know, if we're into astrology, that he moved into his home sign in December.
So that's like kind of boundaries, limitations, and rules, and karma.
The big
daddy. He's a father, isn't he? Really?
Yeah. Although, like some people say it's a feminine energy.
I've heard this, like just a very strict feminine energy. It's more like that.
Yeah, it's a cardinal Earth, and Earth is feminine. Earth is heavy, feminine, holding space, and that's what Capricorn does. It's like it holds space. It holds space for everyone else. It carries a lot of weight on its shoulders. You know, it's a heavy planet, Saturn. You know, it's all your boundaries and limitations, and it's your discipline. Yeah. So and it's conjunct Mars. And Mars is that fast, masculine warrior energy. So fusing the two is quite confusing. And they are in a T-square, which means that they are squaring both the sun and the moon. So in this full moon, they'll be the focal point of this T-square. So they will be like the biggest principle playing over this full moon.
It's their energies and their personalities that are going to be affecting us. And they're all cardinal, aren't they? They're all cardinal signs.
Yeah, so you have the sun in Aries, which is cardinal sign. Moon in Libra, cardinal air, and then this Saturn and Mars conjunction up in Capricorn, cardinal earth. So.
Which is again, it's new beginnings. It's
fresh
new starts.
Yeah.
So this is, I think we talked about with this with the last new moon and full moon about starting new projects, and it's the same kind of energy, really helping bring those new projects for you to start, and just maybe just taking those risks and saying that Mercury retrograde.
There's no problem with taking.
Yeah, just getting serious about these new beginnings, these new plans, these new projects that have been on the back burner of your life maybe for many years, where you're like, oh no, I'm not good enough for that. No.
Yeah. So, yeah, I definitely think that when everything's happening in Aries is a great start-up energy, and then you've got Mars, which is playing a big part in this full moon conjunct Saturn, which is about self-discipline. But when
that's courage as well. So
it's courage. It's
courageous. Be courageous people.
Daring kind of energy, but what's that thing going?
Nothing.
Oh, just a note flying over.
I nearly caught it. We don't know what's going on now.
I have no idea. Yeah, but this Mercury retrograde, as we said before in our other video, is that Mercury, when we're in retrograde, it doesn't necessarily mean don't do anything. It's about like maybe rethinking things, and Mercury is thought as well as communication. Yeah. So it's, I feel like it's kind of guiding us to kind of go, hold on a minute, how have I been holding myself back in any way? What boundaries have I put upon myself? Saturn is boundaries, and it's the boundaries that we place upon ourselves. The only one we're up against really is ourselves.
We are our biggest block. Yeah. And also it's interesting,
blaming other people is like not the point. It's
it's also interesting you said about like looking at yourself with the Mercury retrograde and thinking, with the moon in Libra also, it's maybe like looking at your life and see what needs balancing out.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and that's like Libra, the place for the moon to be, the emotional center of all this, and this is in Libra, so it is kind of about taking your time to bring balanced thought to what's going on.
Yeah, what kind of looking at like your life and what is kind of like, I mean, a lot of us probably can look at our lives and think what's really out of whack, and tackle the big ones maybe. But there's also maybe a few subtle ones that we go, oh, actually, I could work on that a bit to balance that out.
Yeah, yeah. I think that if your subconscious is having a go at all of this, then you could be tested with some difficult situations, like maybe masculine energy as well coming in, Saturn being the father of time, and Mars that being a
courageous strength
warrior kind of energy, and then obviously the sun going through, because the sun is a really important character in astrology, being most of us only talk about our sun sign, so wherever the sun is, that energy is really radiating, and that's Aries. That's fresh starts. We're at the beginning of the astrological year, and we're really kind of feeling new beginnings in how we carry ourselves and how we communicate with people.
Sorry, I'm going to cut you off, but it's not so unusual for me to do that. But it's when you were talking about those new beginnings and everything, and then you've got the Libra in play as well. So it might be new beginnings of really finding partnership with these plans and finding the balance in the partnerships of the plans, say, or communing with a good partnership.
Yeah, well, partnership is going to be really under the spotlight, because it's going to be in square to the moon is in partnership, in Libra, so it's going to be like have the sun's light on it and that retrograde energy pulled in on that, so that kind of rethinking how you communicate in partnership, as well as like the principles of Saturn and Mars, which is kind of that discipline, structure, do it again kind of energy, as well as the go energy. It's a bit confused that, so there could be some little rumblings in partnerships. And when we talk about partnerships, it's important to understand that it's not just love relationships. We're partners. partners in shine.
Yeah.
But you and your boss, there's a partnership there. You have a relationship
With everybody. The shopkeeper.
Yeah.
You know, I have a partnership with the shopkeeper.
That's
actually it's because he named it after me. It's called PK Convenience Stores.
She was in there the other day telling this guy I was causing trouble. Don't you know who I am?
Do you know who I am?
You know who I am? I'm PK.
No.
Anyway,
we digress. So where were we, Jacqueline?
Well, I think we were wrapping this up.
I rudely interrupted.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap this up.
Well,
so yeah,
I think it's probably a good idea to wrap this up. So yeah, I think we're with the Mercury retrograde in play. It's a really good time to just stop and breathe before you respond to your partners. To start to think about, how you're communicating with people. Are you?
Sorry, my arm's hurting now, people. I'm going to let Jacqueline take the camera.
Okay. Shouldn't have given it to me.
You're going to mess around with it. Just don't shake it.
So anyway, PK, what would you say, like guidelines, advice for this coming full moon on Saturday?
Really concentrate on, go back to maybe those projects and think about them. Don't make any decisions around, just think about them and think about like the partnerships around that plan that might be helping it move along, or the partnerships that may be blocking it a bit. And really maybe get your discipline down, and if there's things you need to complete to get, on with your project, get it done.
Yeah, that's really good. Thank you, PK. Piece of advice. And I would just like to add, without being interrupted, if possible, that you might find that things come up from your past, like feelings or responses come up from your past, old wounds that maybe how you used to feel, and it is like you used to feel that. But when those things come up, really they're coming up to be released. So you're not gone backwards when you feel that again. It's a part of you that's leaving, a part of you that's dying. When you say yes to one thing, and one of my great friends has posted this great post about saying yes, but as you say yes, there's always the contrast, there's always the no, which is kissing goodbye to something that might have been blocking you before. So you'll have to sometimes feel that before you can move into the place of yes. So and it's not to get rumbled by that and think that you've digressed or you've kind of everything's fallen apart, because it's not. It is. Structure might crumble. Old structure might crumble to bring in new beginnings and fresh starts. And it's kind of keep that in mind, that there is growth and there is rebirth happening right now for a lot of us. And it feels a bit wobbly, and this moon might feel really wobbly. Yeah, but it's only like a blink. It's
okay. There is a bigger picture, people, and we can go.
Next week
until next
when it's all over.
And after Mercury retrograde will be a time where we can't blame it anymore. It'll be our faults.
Yeah, we won't blame him anymore. But yeah, we have made a video about Mercury retrograde. It was made before in the build-up to it. So there is a date on, I think it's the 1st, which will be the Sunday, when the sun is exactly conjunct. I mean, about in London time, about 6 something in the evening, the sun will be exactly conjunct Mercury retrograde. And this is an absolutely brilliant time for communication, for delivering that speech or that message that you want to be heard. So yeah, we have made a video about that if you're interested in understanding a bit about Mercury retrograde and what he's up to up there. And
he ain't so bad.
We have our moon circle tomorrow night, so we're a little bit early for the full moon happening in London. Check out our website if you fancy coming to one of our groups.
Moon cycles with a
psy.co.uk. It will be underneath this video as well. And we wish you all very pleasant and very constructive full moon.
Just breathe and be in your centre.
Harmonise. And we'll see you on the other side.
See you on the other side.
Thanks.
Bye, people.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.